question for you. Have you ever experienced regret in life? I think unless you are made of something other than human muscle and bones, none of us can really escape regret, right? So today we're talking about how to navigate regret. But before we do that, I invite you to kind of take a sidestep with me and explore regret. I promise you it's gonna make sense in the end and it's all gonna come full circle. Because I know it's a bit of a downer, and most of us, myself included, really don't want to navigate anything uncomfortable or negative, right? We just want to shove them in the back and not really deal with it, right? So now I'm going to share with you a thought that might make you feel at ease regarding regret. That is, every human in the past, present, and future will experience regret one way or another. Don't you think it's kind of reassuring, almost like feeling we're not alone, because we all experience it? There is no need to feel ashamed or overwhelmed. It's part of life. I also feel it's life's way of teaching us lessons. And experiencing regret is kind of the intended result in some cases, if you think about it. So let that sink in first. You're not doing life wrong. We are all doing what we can, and we all will experience regret. So now moving on to the experience, we all know how bad it can feel, right? We also know that we can do absolutely nothing to reverse things. Unless, of course, we are in the Marvel universe. So this irreversibility definitely is a downer, right? We cannot do anything about it. But here's another take on that. So one way of looking at it is we can learn from the mistake, right, or the error or that experience, which I think is the intended purpose of it, right? And it also gives us an insight on how another might be feeling. I mean, how cool is that? And that actually makes us more brave to show mercy to someone when they are regretting something, especially if it was directly related to you. It does not make you weak to show mercy, it actually makes you brave. So when someone also experiences it, we should be brave enough to extend more compassion. Because wouldn't you benefit if the roles were reversed? Let that sink in just a tad. Now, moving on to how to deal with regret. I think the number one step is asking for forgiveness. I know it can be messy, awkward, definitely a blow to our ego, but just take the step. There is no easy way around it. Another aspect people overlook here is forgiving yourself. So please forgive yourself for first doing that mistake, if you did a mistake, and show compassion to yourself. Let yourself heal. This part is super important because sometimes even if the other person has forgiven, we are still stuck on our mistake. We are mulling it over and over in our mind, torturing our own self. So take the step, forgive yourself. But here's the plot twist. In some cases, even if you forgive yourself, even if you have asked for forgiveness, sometimes that is not enough. What exactly am I talking about? Have you ever had shameful thoughts attack your own mind? Over and over about an incident that happened, about something you did? Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. Because sometimes our own mind would not let it go. I know it's annoying. I know. So in this case, what we need to do is whenever we do get that thought of shaming ourselves, right, or that negative thought coming into our mind, we need to attack it with self-soothing thoughts. So in this case, we can use predetermined phrases that you can workshop during your journal session, which we'll do next time, right? So for an example, you can have a phrase like, I am not my mistake, I am much more than that, I am blessed, I am kind, I am worthy of moving forward from my mistake. So you can have this on your phone or somewhere that you can access, easily, right? And after a while, these thoughts will not pester you, right? Your inner self is constantly needing self-assurance. That's what's happening. So give it what it needs. Take care of him or her. Before I go, I will interject a religious angle here too, but please insert your own belief where required, right? I can only obviously comment on the faith that I know of. So in Christianity, we are given a tool called confession. So basically you go to a priest and repent. This is a huge tool as well. So if you belong to this category, go ahead and do the good old confession. You'll feel really better and you'll really be happy that you did it as well. And pray, right? Asking for guidance and strength can help heaps and bounds, because I believe we cannot do this without little external help. So use whatever tools you have from your faith too, because no one religion out there will tell us to harm someone else, right? Everyone talks about love and peace. With what basically all these tools and faith, what they do at the end of the day is indirectly calms our mind. It reassures our inner self that it's been dealt with, and it gives us permission to move on. And meditation can help, but when you're going through a spiral of negative thoughts that is shaming you, telling you you are worthless or you are bad or whatever that may be, that's not the best time to try meditation. Unless, of course, you're a pro, right? Because otherwise, you can get lost in the thoughts, because it's basically you against you, and that is a messy place to be in. But you can try a guided meditation, so someone else is guiding you, right? But make sure you trust the source and that they have the right knowledge to guide you. Because please guard your mind like it is a treasure, because it truly is. Don't give access to it to another person to manipulate it, right? Remember, you are the hero of your own story. They can guide you, but they are not your hero. You are the hero, right? Because when we are vulnerable, we try to listen to things, we try to do certain things, try new techniques, make sure that they are safe and that they are going to help you in a positive way, right? So before I go, let me share with you 5 journaling prompts that you can use to navigate this. But remember, please approach it with an open mind and self-compassion towards yourself, which is what we did kind of the pre-workout, in the initial part of the video up until now. That's what we did, right? We changed our mindset about regret, right? So question number 1, how do you feel in your body when you think about what you did? So this is important because there are definitely, most of the time, the sensations in your body when you think about what you did, right? It can be a headache, it can be your shoulders are tensed, it can be your tummy feels like in knots, it can feel maybe your getting heart palpitations, whatever that may be. Write everything down, because what your body is doing is asking for that attention. Instead, what we are doing is, when we are thinking about it, we are forgetting that there's a physical response as well. So when these are being dealt with, that when you address it, okay, I hear that your shoulders are hurting, or you're getting a neck pain when you're thinking about it, then these subside on its own. In order to move on, you need to approach it the 360 degree, not only why me, and just always, most of the time we think about me, but we're forgetting there's a physical response as well. So when you write that down, it's easier to move on, right? Number 2, how do you feel in your mind, right, when you think of what you did? So that's when you go into your mind and think about maybe the emotions, feeling ashamed, angry, or confused, because sometimes we don't know why we said that, right? So that can be as well. So write that down. Then it can be, or what did you feel? Like, I felt unsupported, I felt I was not prepared, right? I felt I didn't have all the information, whatever that may be. Write all of that down as well, right? Number 3, it's part A and part B. Who should receive an apology from you, and what is holding you back from taking that step? So this is really important as well, because sometimes we are in our own head, we're forgetting that there is another person, or there may be few people that require a little bit of comfort and apology. But what we are doing is, we're talking about me all the time, and forgetting that the effect of what you did or what you didn't do to another person, right? And the part B of it is, what is holding you back? Because sometimes we are creating excuses in our own mind, and it may not actually be as bad as what we think. Sometimes it can be, what if, the easiest thing people say is, what if that person doesn't forgive you, right? Then what will you do? There's nothing you can literally do, but you will take the step regardless, right? Because that is something you can control. Or you can be like,
what if they think badly of me, or whatever that may be. When you write it, then you can say, okay, what can I come up with a solution? If a friend tells me this, what will I tell them, right? When you write it down in paper, you're able to see it more clearly, rather than kind of going in loops thinking about all this, right? Because we are all about getting out of it, we're not all about staying in the loop, right? Number 4, write a self-soothing affirmation that would help you navigate when the negative thoughts try to bring you down about this situation. So initially, go crazy, write a paragraph or two about how amazing you are, and then how you are separate to your mistake, right? All of that, all of the good stuff, right? Later, try to bring it down to one sentence, or two, and write it or type it and keep it on your phone, where whenever that thought comes to you, you are able to go access it, go read it, and remind yourself you're good. So an example, like I shared before, I am not my mistake, I am much more than that, I am blessed, I am kind, I am worthy of moving forward from my mistake. So that's an example, but you can create your own, right? Number 5, list 2 ways you consider that you are a great person in this world. So this is very important, especially when we did a lot of hard work in the previous questions, because we can tend to, because we were talking about negative things, right? We were talking about reversing what we did, or not reversing, but we were talking about, something negative, right? So when that is playing in your mind, and when we are putting a lot of time to digging deep into all that, we forget how good you are, right? So we have to always close journaling sessions like this on a positive, right? So that is why guided journaling prompts are very important. You have to be very careful not to leave yourself lost and confused and angry at the end, right? So this question reminds you, helps you to keep looking for things that you are doing amazing in this world. Maybe as maybe you're a doctor, or as your whatever you're contributing to the world. It can be as big as doctor or architect or whatever, teacher or whatever profession, or it can be you're an amazing parent, you're an amazing student, you're an amazing cook, right? Whatever it may be, artist, or son or daughter, or you're whatever that may be, that you think that you're contributing and you are great in this world. So always finish the loop with something good like this, right? So hope you found this valuable, and remember, right, we are all evolving, every single one of us, right? So showing love and tenderness towards our own journey is the best way to move forward, which we all need, right, which we all trying to do and create the life that you want. So thank you again for joining, and I will speak to you all next week. Bye for now.